Ooh, I don't know. I just love my black and white filter. It's my thing. So I'll just have to turn it on. Boom. And then for stuff that means if I remove my filter and if I add a filter, it goes away. But I could have bubbly Johns. John Bubbles. Look at all of us. Anyway. Back to being semi-serious. You know, I'm like Afro samurai when it comes to certain things. You know, I'm beginning to ask myself certain questions. Questions everybody should ask themselves. And that is what his 2016 taught me. Well, I'm going to tell you. It taught me things aren't always as they seem. And I don't always have to appeal to people in order to excel in something. You know, when people turn their backs on you because you hold a certain view, it sucks, but at the end of the day, it pays off. And this is, of course, about doing stranger things, unconventional methods. And the times are changing, and people should change along with them. You either get up or you get left behind nowadays. There's no hey, with my video face and video through in here director zone. Oh, you're back. So, as most people prepare for the holidays, I unfortunately don't have that luxury. I'm still recovering. That's the small segment or a small part of it. I am preparing for 2017 and to be prepared, more prepared for 2017 than I have been for the previous years. There's just a lot of reforming that has to be done, and I guess maybe you could call me a free agent now, can't you? At least next year. Um, but you know, proven rich, and the doubt from the ones that know is over. My silliness has to end too. But I can still have some fun. Head over to Dosha, can dance with giraffes and stuff. You know, go and salute my fellow elephants. Nozovu. Yeah, it also showed me who to trust and who not to trust, and especially how you get infiltrated when you reach a certain level. And yeah, I got infiltrated. Other than my WhatsApp is safe. Sometimes it's from people, friends and stuff. So I keep that at a distance. They can say what they want, ask about my whereabouts. It's none of their business. Where I'm going is none of their business. I'm not playing it mysterious. I just won't say it unless I'm saying it to someone's face. And I gave some summaries of the chaos management, and apparently I should reveal the whole thing just because some people are curious. Nah. Facebook has my a whole stash of my characters, ideas I have, from philosophy to all types of subjects, and they are a lot of pages. I spent a lot of time writing, and the research base that I did with commentary and stuff, well, that stuff was a lot too. So, we're talking about just that alone was at least 3 books. And when you're typing your own book, when you're writing your own book, it takes a lot of energy, right? You do it all, it has to flow, especially for someone like me who's OCD. You want every detail to be in an exact format, and you also want it to be like a river or a waterfall where it just flows from the river all the way to the waterfall, and the water just carries on. And that's how you want the person to read it. You want it to be so simple that they can't understand the complexity. And I think that's the beauty of certain writers that I know. And that's what I sort of want to illustrate, since I am not a professional book writer. Like, I don't write fiction, don't do fiction. I'm into straight up research and development. And more I learned from 2016 is how some people can let you down while others stand firm and wait out the storm. And I'd just like to thank the world religious couple for having my back like that. Um, and the White House decorator for also having my back, um, despite all the fuss and stuff. I mean, it's a new director now, and I'm putting together all of the pieces of this new director, and it's definitely going to be it's going to be a beautiful director, a nice director, um, one where it's not exactly micro analyzing, but understanding it to a mathematical fault where you have two variables. And I always say that you have to have two variables. You can't have more than three variables. And it works. It really works. It's been proven. Now, there hasn't been any lies or manipulations here. All I know is that I was being scolded for a lot of things, accused for a lot of things that I didn't do, and I got fed up. So, the other team understood me more. Boo-hoo. It's time to get over that and let's move forward, because that's the only way time flows, is forward. There is no reversing it, right? There is no reversing some words just by saying I didn't mean it, or I was feeling like this, and there is no reversing certain behaviors. So let me just say that I actually had a really great 2016. Hello. What's that? Okay. Huh. Okay, I challenge anyone to prove that the chaos management theory was wrong, and that it had no impact at all. In fact, prove that wrong, and I will fully disclose what I mean by chaos management. It's a mixture of public relations, human resource, right, as well as image. Image and profile setups. So look, you have a bunch of angry people, and your response is to send out a task force to try and make sure that they don't destroy property. What have you done? You have already incriminated the people. In Taiwan, there is, I don't know if it's still ongoing, but the mass demonstration there was huge. Streets full of people, and I didn't see any actual police on guard except at the entrance where they put up a blockade. Now tell me, how many of those people, how many of them acted violently or broke any properties and such to gain attention? Because that's what protests are. That's what you do when you're marching. They protest. And so by putting up obstructions, they feel that they'll be heard. By defying law and order, they would feel that they would be heard, and they absolutely believe in their cause. I am going to compare this to a very controversial topic, which is the Islamic terrorist threat, which actually is binded in history. It is binded in history during the times when Islam was actually the superpower, you could call it, of most of the Middle East. Like, people were living in absolute luxury in Pakistan, right? I'm talking about a long time ago, right? Now, when the Mongol Empire crumbled and Islam was reformed and was more intellectual based, and let's not forget this fact, there are a lot of Islamists who are highly educated but who still are forced to partake in terrorist activities. And then there are those who feel that even though they are forced, they want to do for their country, right? They don't want their country to crumble, so they want the threat that has come to take care of the threat out, and they want the threat that's opposing them out as well. Now, from the intellectuals, when that started to fall, we're talking about the guys that made great advancements in astronomy. This happened in Islamic states. When they crumbled and the West became much more modernized at a faster rate, and the East became much more modernized at a faster rate, they became a trade route, and they didn't want to be a trade route. Now these people who didn't want them to be a trade route were mostly loose groups, radical groups, right? So it's the radical groups that decided this won't be your trade route. We're going to be here to stop you in whatever fashion. And when they faced force, when they faced forces that they couldn't fight, that is when they started to use suicide bombers. And it became family things where a husband could be a part of a military wing that is supposedly fighting in the name of Sharia law and indoctrinating their children to the point where they will strap a bomb on a child and have them run out into the field and detonate it. A child. That is pure indoctrination, and the indoctrination starts when they are young. When did this indoctrination start, and how did it begin to manifest this big resistance? Well, we all know about the war of the Christianity versus the Muslims. We all know about that. That is not so relevant. Now, the one that is colonies. When Europe started setting out colonies to enforce their power and their culture onto people, they met people who were actually cultured already. Like I told you, Islam had its intellectual phase, right? So they faced people who felt that they were already cultured, sophisticated people, and why on earth would they change from Islam to Christianity? That's where that ideology came from, that the West wants to change Islamists to Christians. That's where it came from. And this problem is not isolated. In China, you also have religious intolerance, where Christians are mistreated. They are basically put in a corner, right? So with all of that said, my point of the chaos management that they use in a different way, they use it in a different way, as in they have cells. This is someone from Islam, maybe a student who gets radicalized, and he has no communication with all of the other cells around him, and then eventually they get the order to do what they must in order to satisfy the cause, right? And These people, some of them today, are motivated by simple things. They get paid. And if you're a struggling parent, you have a wife and child and so forth, they will promise you that they are going to take care of your family after you have completed your mission and you die, and that your family will meet you later in the afterlife. So it is pure psychological manipulation. It's a story of conflict resolution by communication. This information is known. I don't know why it should be secret. So you flip chaos management around, and what do you have? You have a guideline to how people should behave. People will behave like the person next to them. If the people next to them are behaving, they will behave. If the other people next to them are, they will behave. That is just human nature. Prove me wrong. I think I might end some more later. It's a long video, yeah.